Oh, hi everyone, welcome back to the ME109G6 build. It has been a long time. I'm going to be totally honest, I'm a little bit worried about doing the camouflage on it. Modelling, I've been sort of trying to put it off really. Well, thought I may as well have a go. As you can see, I can't remember if I did a little update now. I've resprayed the RLM 74 using these new AK interactive real colour paints. They seem much better, they spray really well. If you pop some Mr. Colour levelling thinner in, they're fine. They spray really well. So I thought I'd have a quick go online, well not online, a video in it, so you can all laugh at my feeble efforts. I've got propped up in front of me the camo pattern, so I can have a go. I thin the paint quite a bit, low air pressure, see how I get on, that's all I can do. Also had this for a while, one of these Badger paint mixers. They work really well. Plus, before that I had one which is basically for mixing cocktails and frothing up milk for coffees and things. It was okay, it had a similar attachment, but it was more like a propeller shape, so when you used it, it tended to spray the paint all over the place. But one useful bit in it was, if I take this piece off, was this attachment, some kind of whisk, which actually fits through the neck if you take the dropper part out of the bottle, of the dropper type bottles like those. And when you operate it, these fly apart, and quite effective it is too. So you probably can't see that, but I'm sure you can see that it does actually go apart. And it's very good for mixing those. So that lives on the workbench. The rest of it got thrown away. So let's give the paint a quick whiz up. It's pretty well stirred anyway, but just off the shot, I got a little pot of water just for cleaning it in. Seems to go quite funny in water. I thought maybe they're not water soluble, but tends to go a bit lumpy looking. I thought you could thin them with water. Maybe I'm wrong there. Bit of kitchen towel just to wipe it all off. Already charged the compressor up, so you haven't got to sit through that going right up to its pressure. The other thing I'm sure a lot of you have got are pipettes and shot glasses or measuring cups for getting the paint out. So I'm going to get out 1 milliliter of this at a time. We've got 2 of those. That in there, and I'm going to add about 4.5 of that again, about 2.5 mil of these, so I'll slightly over thin it. The only problem with the stuff is it is smelly. Grab this one again, and then I'll just kind of keep doing this till it appears to be mixed. And there goes my phone as usual. Right, so at the moment got my Evolution airbrush with the 0.2 nozzle in, needle and nozzle set in, and a pinch cap. I've also invested in one of these, so at the moment I can pull it back all the way, but it's got a memory, because you push that in and it stops the trigger going back as far, and you can just pull it out and go back to full throw, and you can adjust the travel by turning this in and out. So I'm hoping this is going to give me a nice spray. I've got the airbrush, the compressor set to about 15 psi, so I'll stack a bit of this up. This looks very thin actually. I have to add a bit more paint to that, but we'll see how we get on. Sorry, I'm mumbling again. So, my old tatty piece of plastic card that I do my test sprays on. That seems pretty good. Right, let's try it out. Orientate this so it's the same as the plan and start on a little go. Sorry for the lurid background, by the way. I'd like a blue roll of this, but I haven't got it at the moment. Pressure still seems slightly high. Put that down a little bit. And I have locked off the needle so I don't suddenly get a splatter, I hope. Right, so now got to do the inside of this one, and it runs. Something like that. A quick second coat. You can perhaps turn that down a bit. Let's try that with just a tad more pressure. Right. Let's try zooming you in. Excuse the wobble. That's the wrong way. I'm probably going to go off shot here, but we'll give it another go. Right, so going on the port wing, it goes practically across this panel line here and then cuts back across the edge of the aileron, just like that. So let's try that. Make sure we get this right. Oh, and before anybody comments it should be hard edge camouflage, just put the airbrush down for a minute. On this particular one it shows a distinct diffuse edge. If I show you the other one, to me that looks a harder edge, maybe more sharper edge. This is more, looks like it's been done freehand. So we'll try that. Right, the next band runs, the outside runs from there to the edge of the leading edge slap over here. So start slightly. Something like that. And then it kind of runs from just back here across to there. Got my fat heads in the way. That's that wing done. Now for the starboard wing. I'm sorry I do mumble, I'm sorry. So, onto this side, this runs right from here, there. And from there out just to there. Just going back to this wing because it looks a little bit patchy in places. Got to say, I can't praise these paints enough. I hope they're accurate, they claim to be, but they spray so well, it's unbelievable. I bet there's people out there getting the same results as I can with other paints, but I just love them. I think they spray just excellently. So the last one starts at the aileron edge, wraps around over the slat. Like that. And then from here it cuts it out across the bit. So the wing's done. Might try and tighten up on that with the other colour later at the weekend. Right, now I've got to try and do the fuselage. I should have masked that off really. Let me come back to you in about 5 minutes, guys. Okay, so I've masked this band up round the side. Don't think it needs to be that accurate. Looks pretty good. So we'll start on the starboard side. This is still spraying, so it's been sitting for a few minutes. Yeah, no worries whatsoever. Then we kind of got to come up from the band and go across to that one. So I'm going over the nose. I don't think I've quite come low enough with that. It's almost level with the bottom of the cockpit rail. So, still getting a lot of spray over. pressure needs to come up a little bit. It's a bit better. Right, coming up from the machine gun bulge up to the nose. It goes right over the top. But forward of the just adjusting the pressure again. That's better. That's better. And then the nose on this side again. All RLM 76. And again comes down to just in front of the machine gun bulge. Like so. And of course we've got to do some little squiggles for the modelling. And again, whilst airbrushing, there's some patches, so I'll get that those up. Can never mix up little enough paint. Plus the other advantage of these paints is they dry pretty quickly. Going to reduce that even more. I'm sure I'm far too anal about all this. Definitely going to have to come in with the RLM 74 in here again. I've got a bit of overspray, but I'm sure it will all work out in the end. If I've missed that bare scoop, that's going to have a bit of that on it. As I said before, I'm colourblind, so I'll put a fingerprint in it. It's gone. Some of the tail should be modelled as well. I'm still masking on this. Right, the rest appears to have to be 76 is the colour I sort of had to touch up, 74 is the other colour for the camouflage. So just, honestly can't see the difference on my banding now being colourblind, but we'll just spray that over that side. It has the other colour, so yeah, that side has the other colour. So I will try and tighten that up a little bit, mumbling again, sorry. And we will leave that to dry. So I used a milliliter and a half of that paint. So let me just show you what else I've been working on. Yes, I'm terrible at starting new kits, so just bear with me a second. Here I've got, let me zoom out now, bit of wobble on the camera, Airfix's B25 CD, which I'm building as a bit of a laugh for somebody at work. He's coming up for retirement. He's not a plain buff or anything, but he always seems to be moaning at his job, and I found out that there was a B25 and it was called Grumpy, and it's got some nose art. So I've bought the decals, which I'll reach over and get as well. They're by DK Decals and they're B25 Mitchells in RAF service, and this has got the where are they? The markings for Grumpy on it, which is obviously one of the 7 dwarfs. Just sorry, I'm out of the light. Just there by my finger. Find the instructions are a little bit lacking. There's actually Grumpy in 2 colours. It doesn't actually show you where the black one goes, but it doesn't particularly show you an outline. So I thought, oh, maybe it's an outline, but again, it's this version here, neutral grey underside, and I like the way you can see where the stars and bars have been painted over, and then the RAF round will put on. But it's only a rough interpretation of it, so hopefully he'll find it amusing as a semi-retirement present for him. So needs a little bit of work. So something else I've done for the first time is I've actually primed it using Mr. Surfacer 1200. It does seem to do quite a good job of filling in some of the little bits, but up here I need a little bit more work on my filing. My rescribing was awful just at that point, but here as well. But otherwise it is so smooth. Again, I've thinned it about 40% thinner to 60% Mr. Leveling thinner, and it came out really well. And just before I painted the ME109, I started masking the canopies up yesterday and thought, blow this for a game of soldiers. So Hannah's really good. I mean, I paid for the next day delivery. I've got the masking set and some resin wheels for it as well. The plastic wheels aren't bad, but it's not much. The nose wheel is fine, but there's not much tread on the main wheels. It tends to disappear once you've sanded it down. So I've got that. Oh, also looks like I might get wheel masks in there, so that's handy as well. So as I say, these just dropped through the door today, and I only ordered them about 24 hours ago, so impressed with that. Yeah, so I won't be doing a lot more today, although these are quite expensive, and I wish I had the skills to design my own for these pre-cuts and silhouette cutters, you know, that got the blade and cut the thing out via a computer. Anyway guys, I thought I'd let you know that I am still alive. And the other project that's on the go, and I will get back to the Fokker D, whatever it is, 3, I've also been putting hundreds of decals on my Hunter. It's a 1/48 scale Hunter from Airfix. It's gone together quite well, but quite enjoyed that build actually. So just a little bit of touch-up work to do here and there. I've put it down, it's scratched the silver paint despite it being protected, or maybe I put it down before I protected it. I've got to admit, the bit that I am shying away from this at the moment is putting the decals on the undercarriage doors, because obviously they were painted over the doors, so they supply the split ones, but it's not exactly clear where they go. But hopefully that one will soon be finished. I'm going back to the Mitchell. They said put 25 grams of lead in the nose, and that's far too much in my opinion. I mean, listen, clunk, you go straight down. And unfortunately, the tunnel along the port side where the bomb only used to go from the main fuselage up to the nose is now completely full of liquid gravity. I don't know if you've ever seen that stuff. Where have I hidden it? It's basically very fine lead shot. They use for, well, weighing model railway rolling stock, etc. like that, and it pours like you can see, very, very fine. But it's still hard to get 25 grams of it in, so good stuff. I said to my son, pick that up, and he's like, my gosh, that's heavy. What's in there, Dad? That fooled him. So I think, guys, that's about it for my update at the moment. I'm at work again Friday, Saturday this week, today being the 10th of October. October already, goodness me. Sunday I've got my boy over, so hopefully I'll get a little bit done. I'll stuff him in these for him with a fortnight. And then I've got 4 days work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. Then I'm off for 12 days. It is half term, so I'll have my son around, but no, we'll be taking him out for a few days. But I'm hoping that I may even complete the Mitchell in that time. There's not a great deal to do on it really, apart from painting now. I don't know how many of you are going to Telford. I'm hoping to get up there on the Sunday. I was hoping to go up for the whole weekend, but I'm working on the Saturday. And they're very difficult letting us have Saturdays off when we're working, because I work for John Lewis as a delivery driver. I'm waffling now, and obviously weekends or Saturdays are quite a busy period for us. People want their deliveries when they're not at work. So anyway, that's my problem, not yours, guys. So hope whatever you're working on is going well, and I'll catch up with you next time I make a video. So all the best, guys, stay safe.